Chapter 8, Assessments and Recognition. Section 8A, Airman Comprehensive Assessment. 8.1, Airman Comprehensive Assessment Administration. The Airman Comprehensive Assessment, ACA, is used during formal communication between a rater and a ratee to communicate responsibility, accountability, Air Force culture, an airman's critical role in support of the mission, individual readiness, expectations regarding duty performance, and how well the ratee is meeting those expectations. Also, during feedback sessions, raters will provide the ratee with the most current Air Force benefits fact sheet. The ACA is designed to increase airman interaction and support at all levels, provide airmen an opportunity to discuss personal and professional goals, and assist airmen in achieving those goals. Once the ACA has been completed, raters will give the original, completed, and signed worksheet to the ratee and maintain copies of all completed ACAs and all signed ACA notices or appropriate statements, regular Air Force only. Unit commanders are responsible for developing a tracking mechanism for ACAs and ensuring they are conducted properly. Raters will monitor personnel to ensure ACAs are conducted as required. When a lower-level rater is not available due to unusual circumstances, or when officially assuming the subordinate rater's responsibilities, the rater's rater will conduct ACA sessions in place of the rater. Ratees are responsible for knowing when their ACA sessions are due. When a required or requested ACA does not take place, ratees will notify the rater and, if necessary, the rater's rater. ACAs are mandatory for officers up through the rank of colonel and for all regular Air Force and Air Force Reserve component personnel. For student officers receiving AF Form 475, Education Training Report, or for enlisted personnel in the initial or advanced skills training, an ACA is not required, but may be given at the discretion of school leadership. For performance evaluations completed on non-rated initial or advanced skills training students, documented academic progress reports such as the AETC Form 156 Student Training Report will serve in lieu of the mandatory midterm ACA. The midterm ACA is a mandatory supporting document to be routed with the performance evaluation, but will not be made a matter of official record. 8.2 Guidance for conducting ACA sessions. Effective feedback is a realistic assessment of an individual's performance. Raters should be impartial and provide honest, realistic feedback. The private face-to-face feedback session is an opportunity to inform an individual of where they need improvement, determine if an individual needs more information, and set future expectations. It also lets the ratee know what needs to be done before the evaluation performance report is due. Feedback, whether positive or negative, needs to be specific. Specific positive comments reinforce the behavior, and specific negative comments focus the attention where the ratee needs improvement. Raters may only conduct sessions by telephone in unusual circumstances where face-to-face sessions are impractical. 8.3 Airman Comprehensive Assessment Worksheet. ACA worksheets are used to document formal communication between raters and ratees and may be used on the ratee's evaluation. Each section of the form should be filled out to the best of the ratee's and rater's ability. The ratee completes Section 3 on their own and reviews Section 9, AB through Technical Sergeant, or 8, Master Sergeant through Chief Master Sergeant, prior to the feedback session. The areas following Section 3 are completed by the rater. Sections are broken into various categories to allow raters to objectively indicate the ratee's level of performance in each area. There are 3 different ACA worksheets designated for use based on the ratee's rank. AF Form 724 Airman Comprehensive Assessment Worksheet, 2nd Lieutenant through Colonel. AF Form 931 Airman Comprehensive Assessment Worksheet, AB through Tech Sergeant. AF Form 932 Airman Comprehensive Assessment Worksheet, Master Sergeant through Chief. 8.4 When to conduct the Airman Comprehensive Assessment. In most cases, the military personnel section will provide a computer-generated ACA notice to raters and ratees within 30 days of when supervision begins. identifying initial or follow-up ACA sessions as required. And again, halfway between the time supervision began and the projected performance report closeout date, identifying midterm ACA session requirements. The notice serves to remind raters that an ACA session is due. However, failure to receive an ACA notice does not justify failing to hold a required session. The Air National Guard does not currently have an automated process for ACA notices and may use an alternate form of communication to notify raters and ratees of ACA schedules. All initial ACA sessions must be conducted within the first 60 days of when supervision begins. This will be the ratee's only initial feedback until there is a change of reporting official. The rater must conduct a midterm ACA session midway between the date supervision begins and the next evaluation projected closeout date. For the end of reporting period, the rater conducts the ACA session within 60 days after the evaluation has been accomplished. Note: ratees may request a feedback as long as 60 days have passed since the last session. Note: for Chief Master Sergeants and Colonels, the initial ACA is the only feedback required. Note: Air Reserve component personnel do not require an ACA if action is pending in accordance with AFI 36-3209 separation procedures for Air National Guard and Air Force Reserve members. Note: if the ratee is due an annual evaluation and the period of supervision is less than 150 days, the rater conducts the ACA approximately 60 days before the projected evaluation closeout date. Note: for lieutenant through captain only, if an evaluation is due to a change of reporting official, the new rater will do an initial feedback. This feedback may be accomplished using the ACA worksheet, but documentation is not required. Note: for Airman Basic, Airman, or Airman First Class with less than 20 months of total active federal military service, after the initial feedback, a midterm ACA session is conducted every 180 days until the rater writes a performance report or a change of reporting official occurs.